I like that even his tombstone is sort of grand. I'm not sure, is that an Oscar? It looks like an Oscar almost on the tombstone, holding the sword. And I love, too, that he not just shows, he could just get away with just showing the tombstone, but it's his ex-wife, or I guess current wife, that he's trying to get a divorce from, making some glib remark. You're getting the information, but you're getting it in such a odd, entertaining way.
What a nice surprise they'll have when you get out.
I haven't time to spend 6 years.
What I love about this scene is that we actually are wondering how he's going to get out of this situation, but the way he comes up with it is almost like a director pitching an idea for a movie. Like, how would you write this scene? How are you going to get the guy out of prison?
Well, maybe you ain't a picture director.
And here's Christopher Guest.
A lot of it is one shot, and it works in one shot. You're watching their reaction to each other. And I think you need to have confidence in the writing to do that, because it doesn't need to be bailed out by cuts, going to close-ups and coverage to collapse it. It works as it is. It works as if it were done live. And you think about this, and when you watch it, what rings different about it is that the writing is so good that it almost seems like a play. It's something you would actually go and see as a play, because the dialogue actually holds up. The scenes play out longer. In current films, obviously the style is to do things that are shorter, but in many ways less affecting, because they're taken out of a natural rhythm, and these seem to have a natural human rhythm in terms of the length of the scenes alone.
A friend of mine, he was a lodge brother. They called him the blowtorch killer.
That's it.
I must say, I did not see this coming. I did not see the revelation of what he can do. I remember seeing this film for the first time and hearing him say, boy, if ever a story needed a twist, it's this one. And thinking, well, nothing that they pluck out of the air is going to be anything but artificial. But it's completely real. I completely buy it. You go, you know what? That would work. Usually when somebody gets a crazy idea in the last 10 minutes of a movie, you don't buy it, but you go, it's the movies. But this one you go, you know what? He's found a way out of this.
If you look in the background, there's Preston Sturges about to direct a scene and wondering where the hell his actress is going. A typical Sturges gag.
We've just had almost this like uncomfortably realistic sequence in the prison, and then this is like a Keystone Cops or something. And I love that outfit too. They're just running. And then she just keeps falling.
I don't know whether Veronica Lake did a lot more physical stuff. She was terrific in this, though. Look how much these poor actors have to absorb plot-wise here without really saying a word. And I wonder if they actually did dialogue, because it looks like they're actually, interacting, kind of all talking at the same time, but they're all talking. That's all you need. What is that? It's like 5 seconds. We got her entire story. There, she falls down again.
The reaction to this film was a mixed one, both critically and commercially. And I think it set the stage for the problems that would befall Sturges in the coming years. He really saw himself as an artist, and the studios were not really comfortable with artists. He'd also had the kind of effrontery to move from being a screenwriter to being a director, and this upset the apple cart a lot. So there was kind of, just beneath the surface of his success, there was envy, anger, fear, and a lot of other things going. All of which are kind of reflected in this film. He's making fun of the studio heads in a kind of lovable way, but people sometimes don't like being made fun of even in a lovable way. So when he got into a little trouble and made one or two films that were not financially successful, they buried him. You look at the film and you look at Sturges' argument for himself, not for comedy over tragedy, not for message pictures not being as important as comedy pictures. It's not really about that. That's just the plot of the movie. It's really about a director and how directing is a noble profession. What happens to this character, his surrogate self in this movie, is that he looks for the big answers, and he finds it in small ways. But the truths he learns are fairly profound, and he brings those truths back to Hollywood, which is essentially a town of Philistines, and they may not get it, but he's grown wiser. He has successfully completed his journey to fulfillment. It's really quite a profound film, very deeply felt, very human, and important.
But it's better than nothing in this cockeyed caravan.
So I guess that's the question. If you haven't suffered enough, is the prescription to run out and suffer some more, or is it to take some of that lack of suffering and kind of spread that around a little bit? Well, I know my answer. I think this film, Sullivan's Travels, is about, of course, the L word wasn't tossed around quite so much in those days, but it really is the story about a liberal. He listened to the call about what an artist can do and a way that one can make a difference in the world. A man with a talent to amuse, as Noel Coward put it. And you can't just shake off one in order to take care of another. You become something other than what you are. So anyway, in searching for what you can do for the world, don't destroy your own, or don't even sublimate it. Use it and go with it, and chances are you'll make a bigger difference than you think.